What's up, my fellow football fans? So I've already done a video about, Italy's win, England's defeat, what went wrong. I've been talking about football, but now I want to talk a little bit about football, but also about its ugly head, racism, about this real serious problem that we have, this very ugly problem that we have. And football is a reflection of society. It shows us the best of society and shows us the worst of society. It's also a reflection of human nature. Now, let's not give football more importance than it actually has. It's a game. Certainly, it's a game. Um, but it's an important game. It's an important game for us, football lovers, and it's an important game, certainly for society and culture. Certainly, society and culture in Europe and in England, where football is the biggest sport. Now, players like young players that stepped up and took a penalty for England, unfortunately for them and for England, they missed. Bukayo Saka, Marcus Rashford, and Jadon Sancho, young players, courageous players, talented players. They weren't used by Southgate as much, in my opinion, as they should have. And this is one of the reasons why they lost. But they stepped up and they missed. They missed the penalty. What shouldn't happen, what is absolutely inadmissible, these players have been racially abused nonstop online on social media, and it really shows you a very ugly side of football and especially society, English society. And we've known for a long time that there is a problem of racism in England, just like there is in the United States, just like there is in the Western world in general. And this is inadmissible, and we should all fight, be united against this. It exists, but it should not be accepted. And really that this stuff will come out like this, it's a completely, it's very ironic because we have been seeing this English team fighting against, trying to do their part, fighting against racism, kneeling before the games. And I'm not so sure if I agree with the whole kneeling thing. I think that's just sort of like copying the American something that happened in the United States. And I don't think, I don't know if that was really the right way to go about it, but I sort of do now. I think you need to do something to show that this is not okay, that racism is not okay. And it's ironic that these players, these young Black players, extremely talented players for playing for England, playing their hearts out for England, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka in particular, these ones that have been racially abused because they missed the penalty kicks. Look, if you want to criticize them, yeah, fair enough. You can criticize them. Now if you're at it, please criticize Southgate because he was really, he did a great job, I guess, taking England to the final. But look at the amount of talent that he has. Really, if England lost, I believe it was because of his approach, his cowardly approach to the game and to the tournament. But you don't racially abuse these players. I mean, I think that's you have to grow out of it, man. Racism is not the way. They are English players. They've done the best that they could to win the game, to win the tournament for England. They are extremely talented. They're the future, in particular these three in particular, alongside Sterling. But Sterling is a little bit older. These three players in particular are three of the most talented players and young, very young players for England. Rashford, Saka, Jadon Sancho. Obviously, there are other big talents, Mason Mount, Jack Grealish, even Sterling, I guess you could say, Bellingham. But, this young generation of English players, they should be cherished and they should be protected. And yes, it's just a sport. But if you care about football, you should care a little bit about these players as well, because they are the future of English football. What is not admissible is for them to be targets of racially motivated hatred campaigns. That is not okay. And more than ever, we need to step up, and the football community needs to make sure we're on the right side of history. And it's easy for me to talk, yes, but it's easy for everybody to talk because it's such an obvious obvious position to take. There's no space for racism. There should be no room for racism in football and society. Certainly not in, you know, this is completely unacceptable, and it's not necessary. If you want to criticize them, yeah, fair enough, but why are you going to criticize their race? I mean, they were born the way they were born. It's not their choice to be look white or to look black. It doesn't really change the fact that they're people and they have feelings, and they're just like anybody else. So let's stop this nonsense, and please, this is just embarrassing for England. Really, it's an embarrassing thing. It's an embarrassing thing that this would come out. It's even more embarrassing than losing against Italy in the penalty kicks of a big match. Much more embarrassing. So it's ridiculous.